Rolling. Okay. I'm with Rhonda Sanders in the Arkansas Food Bank, and she's the CEO of the food bank. And Rhonda is going to tell us a little bit about our food bank and what they do and who they impact. So, okay.
Yes, Arkansas Food Bank serves 33 counties in southern and central Arkansas. We have 300 local agencies throughout those 33 counties that open their door and give food to people. Last year, our agencies, as we served 280,000 people throughout that year. This has grown substantially over the past 4 to 5 years. We delivered around 22 million pounds of food to those pantries to help feed people. Arkansas is one of the highest states in the nation for food insecurity.
Okay.
We're actually #1 in the nation for food insecurity among senior citizens.
Okay.
So we are constantly looking for ways to serve those who are in need. Around 280,000 people are food insecure in our area. So we're reaching a lot of them, but we want to reach them with better food,
Right.
and with more needs so they have less to worry about.
Awesome. Do you think we are, I know you reach about 280,000 people, and you said they're repeated clients. Do you think we're catering to the needs of everyone in the state?
It is really hard to know exactly if you are.
Right.
It's a revolving door because people fall in and out of food insecurity all the time.
Right.
Things like job loss, illness, fires, flood damage. We just had a lot of floods this past year.
Right.
Those types of things move people from being okay to being really bad off, just instantly, overnight. And then there are those who have been in food insecurity that now have jobs.
Right.
And they've bounced back. So that number changes all the time. And really that's the heart and soul of food banking. We're an emergency food system. So we're there to give them a foundation so they can move on.
Awesome. So this might be an offbeat question, but in case there's a national emergency of sorts, a famine or something, are we prepared for such an event, like across the states or through your network of food banks?
We really do try as food banks to be part of a disaster response in readiness. The Arkansas Food Bank is actually engaged with our state, and we're actually engaged with other food banks across the nation to prepare and to think about what's going to happen. The big earthquake happens here in Arkansas.
Right.
So we are involved. I think the size of the disaster and the event obviously will play a lot into how prepared we are.
Right.
But we keep stock of things like water, foods that can be given out that don't have to be prepared, things like that. And we keep those through our tornado season here in Arkansas.
Right.
And we have that in the back of our mind.
Awesome. I kind of saw that you have a community garden out there.
Yes, we do.
And how do you think that would make a difference do you think we can have more of those, or we need to go towards more produce, organic foods, and versus processed foods? What's your take on it?
We actually have increased the amount of produce that we provide over the last few years, and that is a major goal that we have. Our garden is 10,000 square feet, and it produces 5,000 to 6,000 pounds of food each summer. Now that's not a lot of food when you think of 22 million pounds, but you're absolutely correct. It really is a model.
Right.
We want our pantries to come and see how this works, see what can be produced, and then maybe go and replicate that in their community at their pantry. And we do have some that do that. They come and they see the value of it. It's that modeling, learning those types of skills, and starting to think about the fact that you can grow a lot of food just right there.
Right. Do you partner with farmers?
We do partner with farmers. We get around 1 million pounds of produce each year from our local farmers that we do through the Gleaning Project here in Arkansas.
Awesome. Cool. That's the first time I've heard something like that happening, but that's cool. And what about retailers who donate food? Do you sometimes get food that you cannot really use, like ton of cranberries or ton of potato chips which are not healthy, stuff like that? What do you do with those, and what do you suggest retailers do or donate?
We obviously do get foods that might not be the most nutritious,
Right.
and there are foods that we get, especially with produce and things, that may be rotten and unedible. I will tell you, when we get food like that's on the produce line, we actually have a partnership with a hog farmer, and we will give that to them. So at least that food, while it might not be edible for human consumption,
Right.
it is going to feed something in the food system
Okay.
that actually comes back around. So that's a very positive thing.
Awesome.
When we get different types of donations, we look to ways that we can teach our agencies how to use them. They find them at appropriate times during the year, so that we do move that product. And we do have goals, though, of continuing to raise the bar on our nutrition standards here at the food bank.
Okay.
But we recognize that hungry people are still hungry people.
Awesome. And you said most food banks started about 30 years ago. And do you think we're making progress from what we were 30 years ago? Do you think we're making a lot more, or should we be doing a lot more? What's your take on it?
Food banking has changed drastically in the last few years. Yes, about 30 years ago was when most of the food banks were starting, about 30 years ago. It has really grown and developed now.
Okay.
We're seeing a lot more business models. We're learning about efficiencies and how to do things better. But what we're also seeing is that food banks are seeing themselves as part of a bigger piece of providing assistance to those who are in need. You will see food banks starting to help with job training, helping connect with organizations like our Goodwill here,
Right.
where they can go and learn skills that will help them get jobs. We're looking at partnering with health clinics,
Okay.
so that families can get all of those various needs met, which will help move them into self-sufficiency.
Awesome. We talked a little bit about ensuring that people don't misuse the system. And could you tell me a little bit about how we as a food bank, or how you guys as a food bank ensure that people don't misuse the system?
We actually work with our local agencies and allow them to set their policies on how they want to identify their clients and how they want to serve them. Most of our agencies know the individuals in their community that are coming to them. And most of our agencies do not have an eligibility type of process that they require.
Right.
When you go to a pantry and you sit with the people and you talk to them, you very quickly recognize that there's not any one of them that really want to be there.
Right.
They're living in very tough situations. The folks running those agencies know them.
Right.
They know that those are families that are in need, and they take care of it.
Awesome. Do you think we'll ever root out the problem of hunger?
I think we'll get close. I
Okay.
think there are always going to be those among us that are going to be disabled, they're going to be dealing with crisis, and we need to take care of them. But I do think that in America we have enough food that we can feed just about everybody.
Right.
And as we get more efficient with our system, as we help and connect the dots for families and work with them, I think we can do much better than what we're doing now.
So I'm a member of the Arkansas community. What can I do for you?
We'd love to have folks come and volunteer. We have a volunteer group here today. We usually have several in a day.
Okay.
They actually help us cover work that would take about 20 employees to do,
Right.
that our volunteers do for us each year.
Wow.
We have monthly donors
Okay.
that we love to have. We have just one-time donors. We have people who do food drives. So there's a lot of things that people can do to engage here at the Arkansas Food Bank.
My last question for you. So I'm like a really rich person in your community. What should I be doing for you that I'm not doing from my couch?
The biggest thing that I think we all have to do is begin to take hunger personally and recognize that wherever we go, that we may be sitting across from someone who's hungry.
Right.
An example of that, there was a student that we had here who, when he was in college, you would have never known it, but he was footing his own bill, he was paying his own way, and he actually didn't have any food in college. And so he worked up at the University of Arkansas to help establish a food pantry there on that college campus.
Oh wow.
And that is something that we're doing in college campuses here in our area. And the neat thing about it is he went to that college campus pantry for assistance. Now he's just finished as a student at the Clinton School with a graduate degree.
Awesome.
And he is actually working to start other pantries in other places because he recognizes the need.
Right.
You have a lot of money, you just got to look around and recognize hunger hides.
Yeah.
You don't really see it, and
Right.
you never know who it is. And sometimes it's the people you least expect.
Awesome. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you very much for your time.